Bye, madman. It's nice knowing you.
Live forever.
So, you notice I didn't say Zedric could die. I said Madman can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got this weird package from Casey earlier today. Maybe I should open it right now.
Now's the perfect
It's
time to open it.
It says totally not a bomb on top of it.
Yeah. And it
Okay.
also says do not open until game time.
That's also true. Yeah.
So, we are going to do a time skip of a few days. But before we do that, we are going to jump back for just a moment. As basically, you are exiting the council chambers. And as you're walking out of the room, having basically had your option of a private audience offered to you, and Zedric basically expressing a desire to take that up.
It started off with a fangirl glee.
Yep. Basically, yeah. You're all walking out, and suddenly, Zedric, you find yourself falling. There is nothing above, nothing below. You are in blackness. And then, as suddenly as it began, it stops again. And you are still in blackness, but you are standing on something. And you panic for a minute, and then you stop and you turn and you look around. And as you turn and you look around, everything is blackness everywhere, except where you saw Niv Mizzet standing above you previously in the room. He is there in the blackness.
Oh.
And in the darkness, he almost seems larger. Yes. And you realize that he has been sat there listening to you make those sounds as you made them.
It's gonna fix his hair a little bit. Brush off. Hi.
You sought an audience with me.
Right. Yeah. Right. I thought it would be like I kind of would go into. Never mind. I am Cedric Ulfheim, but you know that because I said that earlier because we talked.
I am very aware of you.
Good.
I am aware of all of these.
You're a great boss, so of course you do. Yeah. How right, questions.
Ask me questions.
Yes.
About your place in the world, your place in the Izzet, or perhaps your current mission.
Yeah, sure. Maybe I should also ask something about the mission. That's true. You see, the Ifrit that we talked about earlier, it said some really interesting stuff. And it got me really curious about certain things. And I was hoping that you could tell me or explain to me what the flame of creation is and what you're going to use it for. I mean, considering you are apparently researching it. I understand the concept of it metaphorically, but like practically. Should stop saying that.
He goes still as a statue for a few moments, as if pondering, and then he snakes his head downwards to where you're almost looking straight up as he's looming above you.
I'm very quiet. Please don't eat me.
And he says to you, "The flame of creation is but one of the names of the power which was captured by Azor in the early days.
Should write this down.
The flame was the spark which lit the fire of the Guild Pact, of the so-called Dragon's Maze. It was this flame which grew into the power now possessed by Jace Bellerin. And I hope to one day understand this power which Azor harnessed. For I feel that it is not unique to our world.
That's a great answer. Thank you for that answer. Second question. The second. See. Oh shit! Maybe that's a stupid question now, because like you were working on a puzzle in the middle of the dragon's maze. What's the nature of the puzzle? Could you explain it to me? Maybe I can help.
The entirety of the maze is the puzzle. The interconnecting paths and passages, the ley lines of power which seep through the city and can only be activated by the convergence of the powers of all of the guilds. Such was what occurred in the past, and such is what could possibly occur again. I seek to understand how this puzzle was created in order to unlock its secrets. It is one of the last mysteries left to me on this world.
Cool. Guys, out of game, did they say what those wings thing, that those black wings were? Like what it symbolized?
Not that I recall.
That was something they were trying to figure out.
And I suppose he would have said something if he knew, so I shouldn't be wasting a question by asking something.
You were told you got 3, weren't you?
Yeah, I'm at 2.
Yep. No, I'm just saying, so this is your last one.
Yeah, I know, so I want to make it count.
No pressure.
And so far, I don't know I've asked anything that will actually advance us.
Are you having a nice date in them, is it?
Yeah! Save the candy. Shit.
Mizzet, did you know I'm your biggest fan?
Because Cedric is smarter than me, and I like have a lifeline and ask him.
Roll an intelligence check. If you get a 12 or higher, I'll let you take the group's advice on your third question.
Never mind. That's.
I didn't think a 12 was that high of a DC.
For him, it's like 50%, so yeah.
Thing is, I almost said 10, but that wouldn't have even helped you.
Nope.
That would have been just sad.
Fuck. Fuck. I was hoping that the answers would kind of... Okay, in that case, I'll just go by that. Would you mind if, like, the Ifrit said that he had a missing puzzle piece for unlocking the secrets of the Flame of Creation? I was hoping to gain your permission to build a communication device to talk to him, so I can cash in on that, like, favor. That, okay, I wouldn't call it a favor, because that would mean that we are on, like, friendly terms. I would more say that... Okay, I'm phrasing myself bad.
The Ifrit is a creature of lies and deception.
Ah.
It was aware of my studies, and of course would tempt you with something which he believed would have you tempt me.
Ah. He succeeded. He is very smart.
Should he have access to the flame of creation, then he would have usurped the power of Jace Bellerin already.
Oh, shit. Could you tell me how to get to the middle of the maze? Please? And thank you. Oh, great, they've missed it.
I believe that the bargain was for a total of 3 questions.
Yeah.
Though I am feeling generous today. And I will tell you how to get to the center of the maze.
Oh, shit.
All you must do is uncover the guild gates and follow the path of the symbols as they choose you and lead you on the way.
Oh.
You're right back.
Of course, it took nearly 10,000 years for the gates to be discovered in such a way that the symbols revealed themselves.
Ah.
So, knowing the way is not in truth the same as being able to go there.
Was about to say it doesn't seem like a very easy maze if it had like signs pointing on where we go, but no, that kind of makes sense now. Well, thank you, the Mizzet, for this
I
great
wish
talk.
you luck, Zedric.
Oh, thank you.
Perhaps one day you will be worthy of the gifts of which you are being bestowed. And as I snap, you feel yourself falling again, and you reappear exactly where you were before, only you have a scroll in your hand.
Yeah.
You open it up, and it appears to be pinned in Draconic. And it does have the seal of Mizzet on the page.
I'm gonna read it.
Out of character, you know what it is.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he loves me.
At which point, you out you go, and then that's when we'll have our time skip. So, did you guys decide on how many days time skip you're doing?
Did you say
I
three?
said, yeah, I was
3.
gonna say 3's like the most logical one.
Yeah.
We said 3, so I
Yeah.
think 3 is where we are.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what is everyone doing during their 3 days?
So, I have a shopping list.
Okay. Is it standard book price stuff, or is it
Yeah.
unpriced
Is
stuff?
it?
No, I have a shopping list as in I have a bullet point list, basically, of what I'm doing. That's what I'm after.
Oh.
Pointing out. So,
Okay.
I'm recharging
Go
all my guild stuff.
Okay.
I'm going-
yeah, you're in a position to do that at the moment. Yep.
I'm going to my trainer, etc., 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 to talk about the things I've learned and things I've discovered. I am doing research into undeads and their use in Ravnica.
Okay.
I'm having a. I'm
You're
having an
probably in. Hold on, before we skip on. In that research, you're probably going to find yourself in an Orzhov library.
Yes.
Because they're the ones that know the most about the undead. At least the most above ground.
So I'm fine with this. There's nothing wrong with the Orso in general, and I don't have a beef with them at the moment.
Okay. Roll me an investigation check for that one.
Dohan is like, you want to study one up close?
Oh no, he already knows what I'm doing.
Okay.
Yeah, I know what he's doing. This, and he knows why I'm asking this.
Do you have investigation for any reason? Advantage?
No, not on this subject.
No.
I would have had on a lot of
Okay.
other subjects, but not on this.
Okay. You find a lot of general information, and some history. I mean, you find the general Azorius laws and codes regarding undead.
Yeah.
The fact that in most cases undead can only be legally created in association with some form of debt to society, be it a formal contract with the Orzhov, or be it a debtor's mark, or something which basically, in societal terms, says that they owe something beyond what they have been able to pay in life. That's the generality of the laws in regards to who becomes undead.
I mean, I have an eidetic memory now, so at this point I know it. So that's fine.
Yep.
After I've researched, after I've done that, I'm gonna go learn my my new ability because I actually want to spend in-game time doing that. Day 2, I want to go shot my items, all of which have been pre-purchased, and you have the idea which they are. I want to grab. I want to grab 2 things that I'm gonna whisper to you, and then I want to have a chat with Cedric, if that's okay, afterwards.
Okay.
That's my bucket list. That's everything I'm doing.
Okay. So we'll do the character interaction on day 3 at the end when we get to Cedric's part as well.
Sure.
So that's what Velen is doing for the 3 days. Who's next?
I'll go next because my stuff's pretty easy. I'm going to purchase about 2 stags worth of venison.
Okay.
And this is going to be after I raise the zombies, so this way they can help me carry them.
Okay.
And I'm going to head to the university. I don't know if it's still on fire or not at this point, but I'm sure there's some Azorius around there. And I'm going to
the fires are out.
Okay.
And yes, there are a number of Azorius. Actually, there's more Boros around than Azorius.
That's fine.
Because after the Azorius have done most of the investigation, they've gotten some Boros to basically be the stand here and guard muscle.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to the nearest one and go, hey, look, I don't know if it survived the fires or not, but there was a dollhouse in there, and inside the dollhouse were a group of students that had been transformed into mimics. Time inside that dollhouse is dilated from our own. It's about a 3 to 1.
I'll cut you off as you're starting into this, because as you start talking about that, he kind of steps to the side, and you can see behind him as he looks back, and the building that office was in is burned halfway to the ground.
Oh. Shit. Fuck.
Dovin sees and goes, you didn't find a dollhouse in there, did you?
He didn't find much of anything on the upper levels, from what I understood. There were a few magical relics which were able to be salvaged from some of the offices, but they were, of course, claimed by the owners.
See, it was a good thing.
Anything that hasn't been
papers.
claimed,
Would have been burned.
anything that hasn't been claimed, you can check at the Azorius office in the district. Of course, they'll want to see your provenance for ownership.
Oh, I'm not claiming ownership. I'm trying to keep the people who are inside the dollhouse from starving to death.
I'm afraid I don't know anything about that one. I know that there were some odd magical items, but I haven't heard anything about a dollhouse with people inside.
All right, thank you. And I go to the Azorius office.
Have a good night. You go to the Azorius office.
I look at them and I go, look, I'm not here to claim ownership on the thing, but if you found a dollhouse inside the university, there are students in there that are going to starve to death. That's why I'm here.
They do ask you for, name, basic information, things like that. Yep. Because anyone who's giving a statement and talking about things like that, they want to know how to get in touch with you afterwards if they need to.
I go, I've brought them supplies. You can check it. They are not humanoid anymore. They've been turned into mimics. and time inside the dollhouse in question is dilated. It's about 3 times faster than our own. So yeah, I've brought them food so they don't starve to death.
It does actually surprise you maybe a little bit that this person just takes that statement in stride. You have the feeling that, being in the
This is
10th
not the
district-
weirdest thing that they
Yeah.
are.
10th District Guild office, they've experienced some shit.
It's like a precinct in New York. They've seen things.
Yeah, most definitely. But they actually do go through the recovered items manifest, and they do let you know that there's nothing matching that description on either the claimed or unclaimed items.
Are you still searching the wreckage? It would have been around the area of the foreman's office, from the foreman from the boiler works.
They actually let you know that the search has been completed, and they don't believe there's anything else left to find.
Then you should probably put down that, that would probably constitute murder for who's ever done this.
She does take down your entire statement and basically confirms that should any evidence of such actions be discovered, then it would be a prosecutable offense. Obviously, she's not at liberty to discuss any ongoing investigations in regards to the arsons, but yeah.
All right. I am then going to, I guess, use the venison as fertilizer for my rot farm. How much would that have cost me?
How much were you buying again?
2 stags worth.
A stag is actually not that expensive in Ravnica.
And I wasn't going for like high quality meat because they wouldn't have needed it if they're in the state of mimics.
Yeah, I mean, even for full stags, pelt and all, you're looking at 2 gold pieces for the pair.
Okay.
One each.
Okay, that works.
Yep.
Where's my character? There it is. Okay.
4 mimics.
I am next going to go see Howry.
Okay.
And, I go and track her down, knock on whatever door she's hiding in.
It takes you most of the day to find her, but you
That's
are
fine.
able to do so. She is good on her word that she would stay locatable by you.
I have good news and I have bad news.
Oh, okay. Well, come inside before anyone sees you at my door. And she pulls you in.
Which do you want first?
Well, this is you, so let's start with the bad news. That's usually what takes the most explaining.
In order for the good news to work, you have to turn yourself in.
That doesn't sound like good news.
The good news is that if you do turn yourself in, you're basically just going to be serving community service.
It's not the best news.
I couldn't get you a full pardon. I did my best, but this is the best I could do.
So, you got a pardon.
I have a temporary pardon unless we screw up, in which case I am basically, my corpse is owned by Gerard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I'll accept the good news then. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. I think then I think I've got to clear a couple things off my plate, and then I guess I've got to do that then.
Yep. I tried for a full pardon. It was the best I could
You
do.
owe me one for this.
I mean, I think I'm at like 13 at this point.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna cash them in one day.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
You got away cheap. My follower would have said, "I don't want anything left to do with you."
To be fair, Howry and Dovin, specifically in his story, have been friends since childhood, And for elves,
Just a second,
that's
guys.
very long time.
You still got away cheap, in my opinion.
It's good. We don't want all our followers to hate us and to.
Guys, I'll be back in 5 minutes, alright?
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, I just got to dash away.
Quick question: does anyone know how much it costs to buy a potion of invisibility?
That would be up to Casey, because that's actually, for some reason, potions now are considered wondrous items and not separate things anymore.
Yeah, I've been looking at like different lists, and it's for some reason they made it really confusing in 5th edition to just buy items.
So,
Invisibility is level 3. So I would say that it's a 9th level caster, so you're probably looking at something around
well, that's the thing.
700-800 gold.
Buying magic items doesn't go by the caster level anymore.
No, I know it
It
doesn't.
goes
Yeah,
by the
but-
rarity.
It apparently counts as a very rare item.
Yeah.
And they
Really?
are following the list, sort of like the general guidelines. Very rare items go from anywhere between 5,000 to 50,000 gold pieces.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
it's
but-
like, okay, where do you?
But that
It's-
depends. Casey will adjust the rarity based on where we are as well. Because
Yeah.
in Ravnica, I don't think invisibility is that rare.
No, I suppose. Oh, there's this fucking fly just buzzing around here. It's really annoying.
Buzz,
Um,
buzz.
I actually feel really bad if those students are dead,
Yeah. I agree. That's.
because they
Yeah.
they got pulled into a shit situation,
Yeah.
and now now I want to find Kirk trolling them even more, because that really pisses me off.
You guys would not believe it. Chris managed to, after how many sessions? I think like we're up to 20 sessions or something now. He managed to finally understand how Kim and my character thinks, because he knows I play my character. So he finally found a loophole in my thinking.
It was like, okay, so how do I do this? How do I do this now? Because my fungal infestation is going to be a problem. I'm probably never going to get to use that unless it's specifically against people who attack us.
Yeah, so fungal infestation is a bit harsh though, in fairness.
Well, they only they're animated for 1 hour and then they just fall over. They're animated for 1 hour with 1 hit point.
It's a bit extreme though, I have to agree.
I mean, again, it's a we need help. You up.
I came across this PDF that's it is homebrew that someone made to sort of like specify prices for all the items.
So there's
According
been
to-
multiple lists created over time, but Casey has never had lists like that. He kind of makes his own items and then make up the price based on where we are. So
Yeah.
in Ravnica, it's a highly magical area or place. So he reduces magical item prices because of that. So sometimes in the past, when you're in a city, you can more easily access very rare item, and you can access them. And sometimes he reduces them to rare quality price just because the competitiveness and things like that. That's how Casey thinks.
Yeah, I think
Alright.
sometimes you can roll for it also to like, okay, this might be a bit rare, and then you just roll to if you can find it.
So asking if Casey has a straightforward way of doing things, no, he doesn't. It's very
Yeah. Remember how I was asking about the dagger of poison? He said he would roll for it, and then, depending on the person you're trying to buy it from, there's a sway.
But I really think Wizards should publish a sort of a set list of actual prices for items. So because it puts a lot of unnecessary work on the DM's part.
Mhm.
Well, I know why
It's-
they tried
Yeah.
to make this one a little bit more RP friendly, as opposed to
suppose.
4th edition, which was very very combat friendly. So the reason why they have it where it's the sway is that different people might charge different prices for the same item.
But the thing is, if you like since last time, for example, we were given like a sort of free time to decide on items we wanted and could potentially have lots of money. And it's really, I think they should do something like that in 5th edition so that players can actually go up and search for items and, okay, this item costs 3,250 gold. So
Yeah, the thing is just they promote homebrew in 5e. So
yeah,
yeah.
but it's
So
they
I
should
guess
have
that
like
these-
some
Guys,
a
I'm
bit
back.
more.
Yeah. I'm guessing as their answer is gonna be on most of these things. Well, just make it up.
Huh?
We're just discussing like prices and stuff in 5th edition and how it's sort of there aren't really any good rules for it.
No.
No, and we were talking about how you've done it in the past, like very rare items. If you're in a city, suddenly becomes rare, becomes a competitiveness, and we roll for items usually, where you adjust prices based on where we are and what we're doing. So
Yeah,
it's
there is in the DMG a basic magic items pricing table by rarity. So I
Yeah.
use that as a guide, but then I adjust up or down based on how prevalent things are in the area you're in, or in some cases based on your faction with the person you're trying to buy from. So that is a basic guide, and then I adjust from there.
Right. Because I'm looking at potions, and I'm sort of used to that you should be able to buy at least some potions that costs under 1,000 gold pieces.
Mhm. Oh yeah.
So for example, a potion of
basic healing
invisible.
potions. Basic
Yeah,
healing potions, for example, are dirt G.
Yeah, but how much would you say is a potion of invisibility? How much would you price that at?
Let's have a look.
According to item rarity, it's apparently very rare. That seems a bit weird to me.
But it's a single-use item, and
Yeah.
single-use items have a different chart than others.
All right.
But also, I believe that the very rare moniker is because in most large cities, invisibility is not something that they necessarily want a bunch of the population using. It's a bit frowned upon because it's usually used for not above board things, which drives the price up. I'd say you can get a potion of invisibility for 200 gold.
All right.
so basically, if you roll for it,
No, I'm not even saying a roll for it. I'm saying you spend half a day searching and you can find a place that will sell potions of invisibility for 200.
All right.
They're not that rare. You just have to kind of go to the less than up and up places sometimes for them.
Yeah. Because I was I'm basically just using my 2 or 3 days to
Shop.
Yeah, more or less to gain access to some like utility items and things like that.
Makes sense.
And I don't really have any projects going on or anything secret tinkering stuff.
No secret tinkering? What kind of a character are you?
Well,
It's
I
fine.
will-
I have secret tinkering.
Yeah. Well, I want to spend some time in like the Simic libraries. I suppose they do have quite a keen insight into different monstrosities and the types of monsters
most definitely.
Yeah. So I do want to spend some time researching doppelgangers and their habits and how to sort of, if it's possible to sort of pick them out in a crowd somehow. Not pick them out, but weaknesses and habits and things like
Roll
that.
me an investigation roll to see how well your library search goes.
All right.
Ooh. My new phone will be delivered at between 11 and 12 tomorrow. 24. You investigate very well. Right, you do run into a bit of a stumbling block in that you find no less than 18 different varieties of shapeshifters, copycats, doppelgangers, illusionary mimics, actual mimics, body stealers, skin shifters. You get the idea.
Yep.
But in most cases, in the most common types of them, the way to tell them is usually either through blood, through skin, or through damage.
All right.
Some types of illusionary copies, if they are dealt damage, revert to their normal form. So, from your experience, that does not seem to be the case with these, so you could probably rule those out. Some of them are quite skillfully, but in reality, wearing the skin of another. Because you have seen them change without donning something, you can probably rule those out.
Maybe they just did it very fast.
Maybe. It's possible. Time stop, change clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And others, it is identification by blood or by magic.
Right.
So there's not, in most cases, a way to spot them. There are a couple types that you can spot. There are some that basically, whatever their appearance, their texture will always be more gelatinous than it should be.
All right.
And there are some that, no matter how they shift, they will always have one aspect of themselves, often the eyes, that does not change.
Okay.
But again, those are only specific types out of the many different types.
All right.
I will say with that roll, though, that you probably read more than what I'm giving you just as this data dump right this moment. So if you have a couple more specific questions about them that come up in the near future, ask, and we can say it is something that you read.
Yep.
Okay.
Because I'm sort of focusing on how you would be able to recognize that someone is a shapeshifter if they're sort of not in their original form.
I think
like
you
by way of insights and things like that.
Yeah, the other thing is that in a lot of cases, shapeshifters do not pick up the memories of the person that they were. So if you knew the person, asking things that only that person would know is often a way of discovering them.
All right.
Obviously, that only works, though, if you knew the person that they're pretending to be.
What's the name of your father? Bob. Shit, I don't know that. Yeah.
Is that right?
The last thing I want to do is we got quite a while back some poisoned arrows. I still have a few of them left, but how much would it be to because I have 4 left of those poisoned arrows that add 1d4 poison damage?
Mm-hmm.
How much would it be to like stock up on a full quiver of 40 arrows?
Oh, if you could get arrows that actually set a poisoned effect, that would be a badass, because that would mean they have a disadvantage on attacks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
For most of the guilds, that would be somewhat problematic because they're frowned upon as far as, well, they don't just normally have citizens just walking around with poisoned arrows. But Simic and Golgari really are the exceptions to that. It's fairly common among them.
Yep.
So with that, what's the price of a normal quiver of 20 arrows?
I don't know. Or if I can ask around the guild to see if they would be able to manufacture poison that would be extra effective against doppelgangers or shapeshifters. That would be.
Oh, something that makes them drop their
With that, they would need to know the specific type of doppelganger, and in most cases have a sample of their blood.
Okay.
Or of the blood of that type of creature. Which is why that if you know the exact type, there are places that you could actually obtain that. So,
Okay.
trying to look at the price of the arrow. Why am I trying to search for that? I've got the book right here. 1 second. I've moved all of my D&D books so that I actually will reach it again. Apologies. I won't be long.
It's a gold piece. I didn't realize I didn't put my mic back up down when my friend was talking to me.
Okay, so it's a gold piece for 20 arrows. Okay, cool. So we'll say we'll say 5 gold pieces for the poison arrows.
Okay.
To do a D4 poison.
Yep.
That's per 20.
Or a hack, dropper, good work.
Alright.
Something's very buzzy.
It's the air conditioner again. I can't do anything about it this time.
Ah. Fair enough. Yeah, so 5 GP will get you 20 poison-tipped arrows. Because they're not that uncommon in the Simic. Okay. Are you doing anything else during your time?
I didn't even get to finish saying what I was doing during my time.
No, sorry.
Oh, sorry, I came back and Pear jumped in, so I assumed that meant you were done.
So I'm gonna get a couple of things of chainmail for the zombies.
Easy enough.
A club.
Nightclub?
Just a regular. Ha 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 ha.
I mean, you know.
Leave the puns to Pear.
Hey, I didn't actually pick up on this. I was looking at the list of items.
And
So, are you gonna go out clubbing? Is that it?
it doesn't work when somebody else already made the pun.
Yeah, but there was a slight variation.
So it still counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it then. Is the small shopping strip for armor for the zombies, a club because I can't shillelagh the staff of swarming insects. Shillelagh specifically says a non-magical staff or club, and staff of swarming insects is a magic item. So
It's true.
but I can use it as a quarterstaff. So
Yep.
all right. So yeah, that's actually one more thing. Let me make sure I have one or don't have one. Poisoner's kit, herbalism kit. Okay, nope, that's it. I didn't remember if I had an herbalism kit or not.
Yes, that's exactly what it is, Pear.
It's the staff of the orgy. It was a thing in the fucking book I hate.
That was definitely a thing in that book. I have that book if we want to start using it.
No.
I do have that book, yeah.
Yet,
That's so weird.
Nunca, no. I hate that book.
That's what they said, but it didn't stop them.
Every time I have run a 3.5 game, I get one person asking to use something from that book. It has never failed, and I always just stare at them going, no.
But you can get extra.
You can get lots of things in there.
Yeah. Yeah, some
And actually,
very
there's a
interesting
lot-
feats.
There's a lot of things in that book that work very well in a kind of gothic Cthulhu horror game.
Yeah, that is a thing that is true.
Yeah, I'd also like to buy a potion of speed if possible.
Okay, what's the standard rarity on that?
Let me check again. That is very rare also.
Okay. And speed is not going to be as Mistrusted as invisibility, but it is going to be in higher demand because a lot of people want to move quickly.
Don't know why I did that. Okay, so let's...
That's not right. That's not what I was going for at all. Okay. Poison of speed is going to cost you 150.
All right. So I'll take.
But you can only get a maximum of 5.
Yeah, okay.
Well, that's all the stock that you can find.
Yep. Well, I was only going to get 2 anyway, so that should be 300 then.
Good deal.
And finally, I'll exchange my hemp rope with a silk rope. Just because
Okay.
it weighs less.
And smoke the old one.
Yep.
Different kind of hemp.
I know.
Pharmacy
I have actually tried to convince someone to smoke a rope before because, yeah.
I have a friend who didn't know they were a different kind of hemp and did try to smoke a rope.
I've not managed to get anyone to do it yet, but I will.
Mark
It's still a
my
goal.
words.
Yep.
I don't think
It
I
is
heard
still
so
a thing
many
which
people-
will happen.
I don't think I heard so many people look at somebody and go, "What are you, stupid?" in like a span of 10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
That's
A slight derailment, but I have to say this now that you said that. High school chemistry. We always did the experiment where they drop a cube of potassium into water and it bursts into flames. And no joke, one of the girls in my class went into full meltdown panic mode because she had eaten a banana and then started to drink a bottle of water and thought her stomach was going to explode.
You know what I
Stupid people
did learn
are
recently,
funny.
which I didn't know, and that is pure potassium does not exist naturally. I actually did not know that.
No, it does not. Yeah. Yeah, but eating a banana and drinking water will not kill you.
Hey, it's kind of has the same shape, so.
Well, no, a banana has potassium, so that was her.
Oh,
thought.
okay. I thought it, because it kind of looks like a
Madman was laughing
sausage.
at the joke and didn't even get it.
Yeah. I thought she thought because it kind of has the same shape, and that's why. Okay.
No, Madman was laughing at the joke and didn't even get it.
No.
That's gingers for you.
Fuck you.
Here's one for you. Do you know that there were people, and that one of the arguments for Wrath of the Dragon God, which was, there's plenty of arguments against that movie, but one of them was people complaining, well, if the purple worm's stomach acid could eat through almost anything, why didn't it eat through the glass jar? I'm like, because glass is non-reactive.
Yeah.
I don't know how people don't know this thing.
That's how you store acids in it. Yeah. Anyway, So has everyone finished what they're doing in the time skip? Now we can
No,
move on and...
I'm not. I haven't done my stuff. No, stop it. You're not funny.
I thought I was very funny, thank you.
Mm.
Okay, what do you want to do, Madman?
I'm done. No, I'm kidding.
Definitely.
Okay, you're out of time, and now you said you're... Moving on.
First of all, he's gonna brag to all his Mizzet colleagues like that he not only got a get out of jail card from Mizzet, but he actually talked to him, and I think, or Cedric thinks that the Mizzet is kind of, it might even be a fan of Cedric's work, and it was just the greatest conversation ever. And but he can't talk about it because they are not on the up and up yet, and if they're in, the inner circle, such as Cedric is, then of course they can be clued in, but they're not, so he won't. And he will make sure to mention it to anyone.
They are split fairly 50-50 between those who don't believe you at all and those who believe if it's true you're an idiot for mentioning it. They're split 50-50 between those two camps.
Cool. The side effect achieved. Besides that, he will do some purchases. He will buy a shit ton of Mizzet. To be precise, he will buy...
How much did you decide on?
Oh, on both. I'm gonna buy a tankard, so I can Molotov style have one on my back, and I'm gonna buy a bandolier of vials.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you guys next see Zedric, he is carrying a glowing blue tank of Mizzet on his back, and has a bandolier of vials of glowing blue Mizzet strapped across his chest.
Shouldn't touch it.
Poor Velen.
Then he's gonna buy some materials, and he's gonna start tinkering and making his shock baton. And besides that, yeah, and the rest of the money, which is, I think it's like 4,000 gold left, no, 3,000, will go into... He will basically give that to Styx and his assistants, so they can start with the research and project in the building and reconstruction, following the guidelines from the blueprints of Device 2. Device 1 that can look into the future, very cool, but if there's a device that can control some ancient thing and they thought it was important to build, it might be good if we also have one.
We also need Device 1.
Well, yeah, but if I have funding for one.
Yeah, so go with the one that keeps them from fucking us over repeatedly.
Okay, that's true. I mean, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Device 1.
I will also be nice enough to point out that Device 1 works on its own, where Device 2 controls another thing that you would then have to get.
Yeah. My thought was more like maybe we find it and then we could just go, hey, right away, but not right. Seeing the future is a good thing. They're gonna start with the research there, and Cedric would also tell Styx to stop researching the whole interdimensional walkie-talkie thing, because apparently Mizzet thinks that's a bad idea. And then apparently I'm also having a talk with Velen.
He didn't necessarily say it was a bad idea.
Implied, heavily.
True.
Oh, there is one more thing Dovin's going to do. He's going to buy a hand crossbow.
So, what's that?
He's going to buy a hand crossbow.
Okay. Easily enough done. My connection's going to shit again.
Let's get my connection to Roll20's been shit all day.
I'm just exiting out of a couple of things to see if it helps, although I doubt that it will. Okay. Kim, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Kim, are you awake and with us?
Hello.
He said
Can't you
yes.
hear me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I can hear him fine.
Are you muted?
No, this is Casey just being stupid because everybody else can hear me.
Yeah.
No, I
No.
can hear you now. I genuinely could not hear you before.
I think his connection was cutting out there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
We all thought. See, this is what happens when you cry wolf, Casey. We all thought you were fucking with them.
Except me, who was literally
I
like, I
mean,
think his connection.
Maybe I was. You don't know. Okay, so Valen wanted to have a talk with Zedric. So coming towards the close of day 3, you guys are starting to join back up together, and you have a chance to have a talk.
Cool. So, I'm gonna knock on Cedric's door.
I didn't do it. Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah. Hey, Velen. I still didn't do it.
I didn't do it today.
I know you did it, and you're going down. No. I'm joking.
Oh shit! I thought you knew. I mean, yes. Hi.
No. So, I have been researching a bit in the last few days, and this is very hard for me to say. So I thought I'd come to a third party, yourself. Do you think I'm being too harsh on Doven?
On what in general?
No.
Cedric is the person you go for advice.
Like you're threatening to kill Maldor on a regular basis. I mean, I thought you maybe.
No,
Alright.
I think I know the Walking Dead or the foul beings are part of our world. I never really agreed with them, but I do understand their need, and they are citizens like anybody else. You think I'm being too harsh, not letting him have any citizens?
See, I mean, I'm not a fan of zombies either, but I mean that doesn't mean I go and like destroy all the zombies that I see. I think like people who own them kind of be angry at. I don't know what you're asking. Like,
I'm asking, do you think it's the zombies that are evil, or the caster?
oh, I don't know. I mean,
Great advice. Great advice. Wow.
I would say, I mean, that depends on what you kind of do with the thing. I mean, if it just stands there, I guess that's weird, but not
Yeah.
evil.
No, but see, the reason I came to you is because you're not only a third party, you are also a magic user. So if you cast lightning bolt on someone, is it the lightning bolt that's doing something wrong, or you?
That depends. Did I aim for this person, or did I miss my real target and hit it?
Too many details.
All right. Well, I just need to know the parameters of this hypothetical situation that totally never happened in real life at any point.
If you summon a creature, is it the creature that's doing something bad, or you?
I don't know.
It's a moral dilemma. I'm not really sure.
Right. I mean, yeah, I mean, so
But Doven asked me a question.
Yeah.
And I think I said yes.
right. Okay. So do I at many occasions.
That's worrying depending on the question.
So, and I think I might be going soft, I guess.
Going so, I would call you soft. You seem very hard.
Yeah, no. I know that.
After that last comment, that's just.
Oh.
But I think I'm like changing. Because I'm thinking more. I'm not just acting. I'm actually thinking about my actions.
I mean, thinking is always great. I mean, I usually
No,
do it
we
off-
learned. We learned since day one. If you see it, kill it.
Oh,
If
well,
it goes against the rules of this land, kill it. If it breaks any of the rules, kill it.
gotta close the door a little bit more. Let's step outside. Like maybe if you should. Everything in there is
It's the
legal.
Boros way. We are the arm. We are the judgment of the land. And I just like to think that maybe we are just puppets.
Oh, you know puppet. We fought a puppet. Did magic and shit.
No, but that's a different kind of puppet.
You're not a puppet. You're a real boy.
Fought a puppet. No, my favorite is still, we fought a puppet. It did magic and shit.
Right. I mean,
Going to
Velen,
Zedric for advice was
Yeah.
doomed to begin with.
I think you. I think, like you said, I think you're overthinking it. I think you just need to get out of your head for now.
I
and
never used overthinking. I never doubted myself, but I
that's-
have been.
You need to underthink it.
After seeing Dovin doing good things,
Ah,
can other people do good things?
yeah, I mean,
It's
saved
I
my life, your life at like several occasions. So if there's like a scoreboard, I think he has like more points than us.
yeah. So either way, thank you for this. I just needed someone else to talk to because it's been plaguing me as of late. I told Dovin that as long as he makes the evil people of this world kind of atone for the sins in the afterlife, I would be fine with it.
Right? Weird. I mean, yeah. That's
But I'm
yeah.
not really sure if I still agree with that decision.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta do something, and then you'll see how it turns out after, and then you just hide your mistakes.
Yeah.
Is it Credo?
Good advice.
I think that's a good advice. So
Thank.
you're a good friend, and he's gonna lay in his hand, not quite use this new strength. So you know that when people touch your shoulder, it's a bit too much. Yeah, he's gonna do that. You're a good friend.
Thank you. Mizzet also thinks of me like a very
Broken
good friend.
collarbone later.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have
I told you about my meeting with Niv Mizzet? I gotta tell you again, my friend.
Oh, I finally became a member of the witch hunters, and they gave me a gift, like a
Oh.
proper. Yeah. You will see it later. Just when you're casting spells in the future, just don't look at me.
Don't look at me.
Right. That's weird.
Yeah. No, when a person goes through the ranks of the mage slayers, as I like to call us, we become very adept at dealing with magic, and to the point of no magic works around us.
Oh. See, in that case, maybe I should mention, like, I kind of bought liquid magic, and it was kind of expensive. So if you could not turn it into water, I would really appreciate that.
I will do my best.
Like,
Now,
all my money went to it. It was fucking crazy. Oh shit. Oh, it's so much money.
and oh,
Oh
I
god.
I got myself a new gift. He's pointing to a ring on his finger.
Oh, congratulations. What's her name?
I said yes.
Oh, good for you, man.
That's
for
a
you.
joke.
I mean,
That's
I
a
wasn't
joke.
invited, but that's fine, I guess.
No,
Uh,
I finally, the Rakdos will never do to me once they once did, ever again.
Okay. Right.
Now,
So I got this
best
hot
get-
brewing, and it's not water, and it might explode. So I need to go check on
we
that.
best get on with it.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you explode something, just let me know. Have a good one.
I will see
I'll
if
see-
I'm
see you,
in one piece to tell you
tomorrow.
anything. He will run inside.
Thank you for the advice again.
Ah.
He's gonna turn around and walk in his firm, stern way, and he's like, "Yeah, right. Have a good evening." And then he's like, his smile goes away, and it becomes a bit stern, and just turns around and walks in military fashion anyway. Yeah.
Y'all are weird.
I'm gonna love the first time that Zedric walks up to Velen and he's got the full tank of Mizium on his back.
And the bandolier. And the bandolier.
You know how his deformities happen,
Yeah,
right?
and the bandolier on the front. Yeah.
you are aware that that's that gas. You aren't aware, are you?
Oh no, he's got the purified liquid version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the same stuff that blew Velen up.
Yeah, people literally just mind controlled me to stand still in an explosion, and I died from it.
Yeah.
And they thought it was funny.
See,
That's when he became a witch hunter.
Well, you know what they say. Lightning never strikes twice. I guess.
Oh,
No,
right.
the Izzet don't say that.
No.
The Izzet say lightning always strikes twice.
Yes. I said, "Oh shit! What happened?"
He muted and killed his cam.
Oh, does that mean his fiance got walked over there again?
Probably.
And this time he was faster with the, killing the cam than last time. Yeah.
Another half-naked fiance cam. I wonder if she ever found out that was caught on camera.
I don't think so. I don't know what he would have to gain from telling her.
No, probably not.
Uh,
I doubt she watches the games.
Hi.
Hold up a sign. Did you know?
Yes. Hang on. Okay. So that was eventful.
Okay. So, time lapse finished. You guys have taken 3 days, gotten some of your affairs in order. What are you doing from there?
Well, I guess we'll have to meet up somewhere and discuss our plans.
Because where else are we going to meet?
Yeah, that's true.
At this point, my rot farm has become our impromptu headquarters.
Well, we can go somewhere else now that you have been at least temporarily pardoned.
You could meet at a cafe on 10th Street.
Yeah, that's true. We're not on the run.
I don't think I smell well enough to get into most restaurants because of the armor.
Maybe we can meet at the.
There are outdoor sitting areas at cafes on 10th Street. Thank you.
That is how bad I smell.
True.
Yeah. Right.
On a scale of 1 to 10,
I'm leaving the scene with you guys right now.
Well, when everyone shows up at my rot farm, they see me like mulching up dead deer and throwing it over the areas that the doppelgangers died on to try and reinvigorate the area.
Hi. Good news. We might be getting one of those like devices that can like look into the future, like the doppelgangers. I'm not entirely sure. I just kind of we're kind of like trying to figure it out, but we're working on it.
So Zedric, as soon as you start speaking, these two zombified heads just kind of turn towards you in chainmail armor. No, he's fine. He's fine. Dumb as hell, but fine.
What the fuck? Fuck. This is
Well-
just like, are you growing heads now?
No. Zederic, there's bodies on those heads.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it's kind of blending in with the rest now. It's like, okay, never mind. Just stay away from me.
Dobin turns and looks at you and goes, "Hey, you know what this means? It means I can smack you upside the head when I'm not next to you."
I don't like them. All right. Now what? I mean,
Well, we have a few options. I think we should go investigate what happened to Krenko because we need him to find Mr. Taz. Because if these pawns are in play, as the letter says, then we need to find the missing pawn and we need to figure out what the hell's going on. And this Mr. Taz seems like our best option to figure out more.
sure thing. I mean, oh, by the way, I just want to show off my awesome new tank that I have right here. You can, look at it. Molotov had one. Now I have one. I don't know what I'm gonna use it for, but I'm ready for stuff.
There is also one other point of order we could look into. When I mentioned Narcissus Ven to Lavinia, she told me that there was a minor functionary by the name of Narcissus Ven who went missing about a month ago. If we were to look into that, maybe we can find out a bit more about his disappearance and yeah, someone may be able to point us in a direction.
Jovin just kind of looks at the dead parts of the ground on his farm and goes, "Gee, I wonder what happened to him."
I'm not saying we have any hope of finding him alive. I'm saying we might be able to find out the circumstance of his disappearance and
Right. Kind of backtracking.
yeah, if they adopted his persona at least, then looking into his home and yeah, things like that could be useful.
Sure. That sounds like an idea.
It is an idea.
That it is. And no one can ever take that away from you, Malgar.
Well, I'm sure the Demir might be able to.
Oh yeah, I don't like those guys. Oh, why did you bring that up? Oh no, I had forgotten.
I think that was the point of them, is to make you forget them.
Oh no. Oh no, I'm sad.
And now I'm sad.
So, is Velen here at this point, or?
Don't know. Casey froze. I just got back.
All right. I just sort of figured.
Yeah, I
we'd...
said this is when you're all getting back together.
Yeah. Just
Okay.
assembled at the rod farm.
Oh,
Yeah, I specified this is when you were all getting back together. So yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
So
Okay.
Velen would see the two zombies basically standing guard in front of Dovin's house. They would have seen.
Yeah, the reaction here, I have to take that. So because I know you're gonna to explain how they look, but before that, my reaction is gonna be immediately the second when I walk up. It's gonna literally be take the sword out and stop myself in my tracks. Right.
You also would have seen that as soon as Zedric started saying something, that kind of just turned towards him and gave him the same blank stare Dovin gives him.
Like, I don't like them. They have that look in their face, like the one that hurt me or something. Like you, Dovan. Oh, so weird.
Dovin looks at Zedric. Now, Zedric, let's be honest. I've never actually hurt you.
My emotions get hurt daily by you.
Yeah, I can't help you there. And he just goes back to poking up the deer.
Psychological damage.
I-
Yes, shit.
So yeah, we have two main plans. Possibly, they might have any other idea.
What do we know about this Krinko guy?
From what Nikolai told me, they were going to apprehend him. He had been brought in by a guy named Gideon Jora. They were going to apprehend him. They brought him back to Ven, at which point Ven was supposed to take him to prison, and he never showed up. He never showed up at the facility. We know that he has an affiliate named Mr. Taz who writes notes with code and notes in notes.
All right.
We would know more about Mr. Taz if we found Krinko. That's the best I can say.
Right, so we can check out the old home. Maybe we can find some clues there, and we need to find.
Oh no,
Goblin.
Nikolai. Ven. I was gonna say. Oh, if you meant Krinko, Dovan was gonna say. Oh no, Nikolai says Styx burned that down.
Oh, I mean, that's sometimes you go. Sometimes you just, gotta do what you gotta do. Burn a house down.
And do we know where this Krinko might be at this point, or have any idea?
Where he actually is right now, we have no clue, but there's always witnesses around to everything, even if you don't think there is.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we go back where Nikolai said they dropped. Casey's not the one hosting the call, I am.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
If we go back to where they dropped him off and try to follow the path, I can ask some very unusual witnesses if they've seen anything.
Sure.
Yep.
Right. I like that.
Yeah, let's start with that then, just to get things going.
Let me double check something real quick. Is the duration 10 minutes?
Okay. I think I might have done something that's sorted my connection out slightly. So.
Okay. Okay. So we are going to go where Nikolai said that they dropped off Krenko, which I believe was the Selesnya Garden,
Okay.
if I remember correctly.
Sure.
I'm waiting for confirmation from Casey to see if I have that right.
In the
Say that
meantime,
again?
We're going to go where Nikolai said he dropped off Krenko, which I believe was the Selesnya Garden at the time.